Guys, I'm super excited to welcome you guys to episode 1 of A Better Way podcast. Exactly what it sounds like. I know sometimes, guys, we sit up at night or during the day daydreaming, and when we're doing what we're doing, we're like, damn, there gotta be a better way to life. There gotta be a better life out there. And there 1000% is. And that's what this podcast is gonna be about, having people on here who chose to not settle for average, right? Who chose to go and live a better life, all right? So, that being said, guys, I want you guys to know this is not a coincidence. This is not a coincidence. You're not watching this by chance. You guys are meant to be here. Somebody in one of these episodes is going to inspire you to go out and change the world, right? There's no such thing as coincidence, guys. Think about everything positive that's happened in your life. And you look back on it, you're like, damn, none of that was coincidence. It never is. It never is, guys. And part of being able to determine that is following that instinct that you have, that gut instinct. So, for those of you guys who do not know me, I'll go ahead and get into it. I'll get into my story a little bit. My name is Jesse Moreira. Everyone knows me as J Monopoly. I'm a real estate investor, but before a real estate investor, I'm an entrepreneur first, all right? That being said, I joined the military at the age of 18, straight out of high school. I left my home just because I wasn't doing too good. All right, I was involved in a lot of bad stuff, stuff I shouldn't have been doing. I was out there on the street. I had friends that were trapping. I got friends that are dead, friends that are in jail, all before the age of 21. I knew that I needed to find a better way. I knew I needed to find a better life. I knew that life wasn't for me, so I joined the military at 18 years old. I had a blast, I ain't gonna lie. It was a good time. But going back to the whole coincidence thing, right? I end up, going on a deployment in 2017. I was stationed on the ship. And it's crazy the way this happened, right? For those of you guys who are out there who have been on a military ship before, it sucks. And for those of you who haven't been in that situation, let me tell you guys, it sucks, right? So you work 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 7 days a week. And there's really not much to do. You don't have any phones. You don't got contact with the outside world except on Facebook with a laggy internet. So you improvise, right? You got to find other things to do, right? My thing I was working out, and I started reading books for the first time in my life since school, obviously. So I started reading books, diving real deep into reading, learning new things, right? So when you're on the boat, it's like you're bored as hell, right? So me and my friends used to talk a whole bunch of crap, be like, yo, guys, I bet that when we get off the boat, Drake's gonna have dropped the album, or Jay-Z's gonna have dropped the album, right? And at this point, this was 2017, Jay-Z hadn't dropped the album since 2013, right? And everyone knows I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, so everyone was like, yo, bro, watch, Jay-Z gonna have an album by the time we get off this boat, bro. That's how long we've been on here. It felt like we've been on there for years, yo. So come 30 odd days, something like that, we get to Australia. We get to Sydney, actually. Sydney, Australia. I've never been to Australia. So the first day, I was duty. I couldn't go out. At all. Second day in Australia, right? So mind you, first day I couldn't go out. I see all my friends coming back pissed drunk after not being able to go out at all. And they're all like, guys, for all of us who were duty section who couldn't go, they came back and they were literally like, yo, all the rumors about Australia were true. So I'm excited. I'm like, I can't wait to get to Australia, man. So next day, I wake up early to leave. Yo, that day, Jay-Z dropped the album, yo. He dropped 444. I was like, wow. So I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. So it didn't matter what I was doing. I was going to be listening to the album no matter what I was doing. So I'm over here listening to this album, walking down the streets of Sydney, Australia. And I look up, and right there in front of me is the 444 Club. Jay-Z had the 444 Club in Sydney, Australia. And I'm like, this cannot be a coincidence, yo. Yo, that's crazy. So I go in there, beautiful artwork. I get lit that night, get super turned up. The next day, same thing, went to the same club because it was so lit, got super turned up. Go back to the ship, and I'm like, damn, before this takes off, let me find some new books to read, right? So I Google books that Jay-Z has read. And I buy the whole catalog. I buy the whole thing. first there on the list, he said he lives his life by this book. It was called The Celestine Prophecy. So I started reading The Celestine Prophecy. And yo, when I tell you this book hit home, oh my God. Like, I'm not a very religious person. But if anybody asks me what I believe in life, I would tell them, read this book. Here's what I believe in. So it's a fiction book that basically goes into, those coincidences that happen in your life are actually the universe pushing you towards your life purpose, right? So the more you follow them, the more doors open up for you, the more you get closer to your life purposes and accomplishing whatever goal your incarnation came here and put you here for. It was crazy concept, yo. And when you don't follow those coincidences, they stop happening, right? So you shoot yourself in the foot by being too timid. So that was amazing to me. Like the whole concept of that book was amazing to me, yo. Like best book I ever read in my life. So I finished that book. I had already finished all the other books that my guy Jay-Z recommended. And the next book I read was a real estate book. I don't even remember what book it was. That's how much it went over my head. I didn't understand any of the concepts. But I took one fact from it, and it was that real estate has created the most millionaires. So I was like, wow, that's the only thing I took from the book. And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. I got to do more research into real estate. So get this. This is the crazy part. By the time I finished reading that book, we were due for our ship to stop again, right? So our ship stops in Australia again. But this time, not Sydney. We were in Brisbane. So, boom, Brisbane. I get off the ship. My partner, Levi, first person that calls me. Levi calls me. I'm like, yo, what's going on, bro? I just got to Brisbane. And he tells me, bro, we got to get started in real estate. So, my mind just like super blown at this point. I'm over here trying to explain to him why that was crazy. Like trying to explain to him always how that was crazy. I couldn't put it into words. I just told him I'm in. Whatever I gotta do, like I'm all in. Like you don't gotta tell me twice. I'll just do it. We ended up paying some money for this course. Super expensive. We low key got played on this course. But fast forward 3 months, we did our first fix and flip, $35,000 profit. We took that money and invested it back into the business, and within 2.5, almost 3 years, we were able to build a $1 million acquisitions company. So it is crazy because looking back at my journey, I was like, wow, none of it was coincidence, right? Now I want you guys to start thinking that way too, all right? This is an environment for you guys to come and learn, and you guys are gonna get somebody is gonna spark something in you that's just gonna make you go out there and really take this to the next level. Find a better way in your life. All right. Now, there's a fact that I learned. Right. So if you put a shark in a fish tank, right? If you put a shark in a 8-inch fish tank, the shark is only gonna grow up to 8 inches because it grows to its environment. Right. You put a shark in the ocean, what does it grow to? Like 8 feet, right? Because it grows to its environment. So I want this to be your environment for growth. This is your environment for growth, where you're learning from people who've been there, done that, found a better way in life, all right? That being said, guys, stay tuned. We're going to have multi-millionaires on this. We're going to have athletes, entrepreneurs, rappers, anybody who found a better way in life, telling you guys how they did it.